Hello. Had an idea. I wanted to make a Western frontier knife. One like one of those, but obviously bigger. And I have this big piece of olive ash here. Quite a monster. And I was thinking I could make it along here and then make a separate handle and guard, but there's a nice design along here in the wood, so I'm going to cut a slice off that, cut a slice off here, plane it flat and see where we go. I'll either use handsaw here, or I might start on the bandsaw, and then if the saw is too blunt I'll use my handsaw. So we'll see where we go. I've cut a slice off here, thereabouts, and I've drawn on roughly my tang here, and then my blade coming from here around like this. So rough idea. It's a little bit different in shape, but that might change as I cut it, so let's take it from there. So I've roughly cut out my blade here with coping saw, and then I've started to shape it with the dragon's teeth. It's got sharp on one side, finer on the other side, and I've started to shape it. Quite a nice grain coming up there, so we'll see how we go now. So I've shaped it, sanded it down. I'm happy-ish, so I'm just going to put on some of this and you'll see the grain pop out. It'll look really nice. So this is the olive ash. This is just sanding sealer. It makes the grain stand up a bit, so you can then sand it finer and just seals it. So here it is now, looking pretty nice. So making a guard for my knife, I was thinking maybe I should stick to all olive ash. I have this piece here. I cut that piece out there for the collar of my katana scabbard, and I was thinking I could cut a piece out here and then have it that way. It's got some nice dark grain in there, it's got some light grain. The grain might look really nice in the final thing, so I think I'll start cutting that. I've carved that piece of wood down now. Here it is, basically on. It's going to, the guard's going to curve back here. I'm going to then cut it here up, that piece off, so it'll be like a staggered S. I'm not sure how wide I should have it. Not sure. So that's where I am. I then need to do some more cutting and trying to get it so that it looks right. I've now cut the guard. Goes on like so. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll cut it kind of this shaped, and then see how we go. One thing, I was away for a few days and I've realised that the edge of the blade is actually warped. It's twisted. The top's fine. It's just the bottom. So I'll just have to make that the feature of the knife, and just maybe give it all a bit of a warped feel when I'm doing things. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I've found this piece here. It has some nice grain here, so I was thinking I'll cut this off, cut a slice down the middle, and actually use it to make a handle that can come off, and I'd like to then carve it to look like it's got leather binding on it, and then make a pommel on the end, and then just fit it on with a brass pin so I can take it all apart. So if I want to change anything later, I can do. So let's carry on with that now. I've finished this now. I just sanded it off with the drum sander, and I've left the edges nice and sharp, clean. It looks quite nice, so I'm just going to put a bit of sanding sealer on it just to seal it all off. And then I'll go on to the next task of making the handle. So it's a really nice piece of olive ash. So I'll carry on now with the handle. So I've cut the piece off, I've sliced it, and then what I've done is I've chiseled out inside, just with the chisel, so that this will go inside, and then this piece will fit back on here, and I can actually glue it back, and then this will slide in and out. The gap here is to take into account my guard. I've left it further out. I'm not sure whether I want to make the pommel all one piece on this and then put a pin through here, or whether I'll slice it and somehow fit a pommel on it. Depends what design pommel. I had an idea, but maybe I'll change that. So I'm now going to glue this together. When it's glued, I'll then mark on it, and I can start to carve it to look like leatherwork. So, with a lot of shaping, sandpapering, sanding, this is where I am. I'm going to try and on this piece here carve it to make it look like leather. I'm not sure about this piece down here. I'm not sure if I've lost my way. We'll see what happens. So I've drawn out on here where I want my pretend leather binding to be. So I'm going to carve that now with this square file. I've drilled a hole that I can put a brass peg through to hold it all together. So let's see what happens. So here's my carving, all using this four-sided file. So I'm just going to put some sanding sealer on it, and it'll just seal it all off, and then I can coat it with furniture polish. And then we're nearly done. Just do that there now. I'm going to leave this end as it is, because I really don't know what to do with it, and it would be easier just to leave it rather than being stupid and messing it up. So that's it there now. So we'll just let that dry off. Well, here was my original drawing, and here is the final piece. I think it's come out really nice. I've put furniture polish on it here, so it's got the pretend leather, as if it's been wrapped in leather. I put a brass pin in here so I can take it all apart. I've got a nice curved guard. It's all olive ash, and I think olive ash is such a lovely grain. So there it is there. My Wooden Bowie frontier inspired knife. Really nice. So I hope you enjoy that, and it'll encourage you to get some pieces of wood and have a go yourself. And thanks for watching.